With this video, I would like to open the series of one of the most fascinating countries I visited, Iran. Let's start from the beginning. While we are walking along the Grand Bazaar streets, I would like to share some essential tips how to travel in the country. There are two ways to enter to Iran: to apply for the visa at the local embassy or to get a visa on arrival. The second one is a bit more expensive and complicated if your flight is landing at night. Iranian visa is given on the separate page and it's not attached to the passport. Women in Iran must wear a long tunic over their regular clothes and required to cover their heads with a scarf. It's the law, and not only for women. Men should wear the long pants and long-sleeved shorts too. As you may already know, international cards like the MasterCard or the Visa card don't work in Iran due to sanctions, so get ready to take the cash with you. When you're planning the trip, you can book the domestic flights and hotels by any international form of payment on the website with the link in the description below. TEHRAN is a big megapolis with more than 12 million inhabitants and now stretches for 20 kilometers from north to south. It has an efficient public transportation system as subway, buses and taxis. The taxi ride is as cheap as the subway ride in some other countries and varies between $1 to $3 for a trip. There is an alternative app for Uber in Iran called Snap. You can download it from the App Store or Play Store and it works in English. SIM card is available for purchase at international airport upon arrival. It costs about $4 and it comes with a data of 5 GB. Despite the mainstream media outlets portray Iran as an unsafe country, it is one of the safest countries I've ever visited. The Iranian people are so lovely and friendly that they are ready to do their best to help and to accommodate your needs. They want you to have a great time and tell your friends so more people will come and visit their country. Golistan Palace is located right in front of Grand Bazaar and is one of the oldest historical monuments in the city of Tehran, with a World Heritage status. It was built by the Kaya dynasty and also known as the Palace of Flowers. It's a royal residence dating back 400 years, characterized by a fusion between Persian architecture, the adaptation of European construction technologies, and the use of cast iron. The complex was the royal residence of the Safavid dynasty in the mid-16th century. Because protecting the royal citadel was of significant importance, Shah Tahmasp saw to the construction of the first defensive wall around Tehran in the 1550s. Later on, the Zand dynasty commissioned the renovation of the palace and also building an audience chamber and several other buildings. Selim Hall or Coronation Hall is located on the main central section of Golistan Palace, which was built from the beginning with the aim of creating a museum. Nasser al-Din Shah, seeing the museums of Western countries, decided to build a similar museum in this royal palace. In this regard, the old buildings of this part of the garden were destroyed, and the Selim Hall was built. Thus, the first museum of Iran was formed in this hall, which was used to exhibit Iranian and European paintings, alongside gifts presented to the Iranian court. Some royal jewels were also exhibited inside the glass cases. Since the Selim ceremony was held in this palace, it was known as the Selim Hall, and later it was known as the Coronation Hall, because of the coronation of the Pahlavi kings that took place here. The Container Hall was the latest built in the Golistan Palace during the second Pahlavi king, and contains the gift and exceptional chinaware given by the European kings, including Napoleon Bonaparte, Nicholas I of Russia, Wilhelm II, Queen Victoria, and Alexander III of Russia. The House Photo Museum is the part of the palace dedicated to display and store different photos of the Kaya dynasty, as well as museum shows the love and interest that Nasser al-Din Shah had for photography. Some of his own photos and manuscripts are kept in the museum. The edifice of the Sun was the first Iranian building to be constructed of a metal structure and was the tallest building in Tehran of 19th century, which is about 35 meters high. The top floor called the Royal Seat, and it was designed for Nasser al-Din Shah to sit and have an overview of the city from 4 sides. For the sunset time, I would recommend to visit the Tabriz Bridge, considered as the third symbol of Tehran. The Tabriz Bridge, or the Nature Bridge in Persian language, is the largest pedestrian overpass in Iran. It connects two public parks by spanning Madaris Expressway, one of the main highways in northern Tehran. Built on 3 large pillars, the 270 meters curved structure has broad entrances, multiple pathways, and 3 floors of restaurants, cafes, and sitting areas. The bridge is considered as one of the most prominent bridges of the Middle East. Except for its unique design, the bridge is an eco-friendly project and has earthquake resistance. It has won several awards, including the Popular Choice Prize for Highways and Bridges, a global architectural competition based in New York. Due to its unique design, modern facilities, spacious working area, and variety of shops and cafes, it's a favorite place of meeting people of all generations. Now we are going to visit the most weird attraction in the city, the former US Embassy. It was the American diplomatic mission in the imperial state of Iran. Direct bilateral diplomatic relations between the two governments was severed following the Iranian Revolution in 1979 and the subsequent seizure of the embassy in November same year. The site is hard to miss. Its lawn and imposing walls are coated in colorful provocative murals and slogans, denouncing the USA. This area provokes the fervency we see in the media, rendering this area and its murals very exhibition-like and not to be taken at face value. They are now a part of the museum and its topical focus the history between Iran and the US. Today, the former US Embassy is renamed as US Den of Espionage or Museum Garden of Anti-Arrogance. For more than 3 decades, the iconic image on the outside of the embassy was that of the Statue of Liberty as a skeleton, the graffiti that symbolized Iranian fury at the United States. Using a snap again, arrive by taxi to the other side of the city to the gate of Mount Tachal, where you can either take a minibus or walk for 30 minutes, which is about 2 kilometers, up to the Station 1 of the gondola lift, known locally as the Tachal Telecabin. The ticket counter is also located in the station, where you can purchase the tickets for the Telecabin ride. Tachal Telecabin is one of the world's longest gondola lift lines, with a length of 7,500 meters. It starts at the Velinyak Valley north of Tehran at an altitude of 1,900 meters and ends at the last station at an altitude of 3,740 meters near the main ridge of Mount Tachal. The gondola lift is used to access the ski resorts and other recreational centers on the mountain. While it was very hot down in Tehran, at the last station was freezing cold. So we didn't stay more than few minutes. Even the peak of Mount Tachal was just 30 meters away. Station 5 is at 2,935 meters and has restaurant and rescue center. The station is in the middle of one of the ski slopes and has a large viewing platform with panoramic view on the mountains. Most visitors buy the ticket to the station only without going all the way up. The Chal complex is open from Tuesday to Friday from 8 a.m. till 1 p.m. So make sure to have enough time to enjoy the ride. Saadabad is a cultural and historical complex that covers an area of 300 hectares and is located across the foothills of Mount Tachal. The complex was constructed in the 19th century and belonged to the Kaya-era monarchs and their families. In 1920s, Shah Riza Pahlavi added some buildings to the complex and used the palace as a summer residence. In 1970s, his son Mohammad Riza Pahlavi moved there. In 1979, after the Islamic Revolution, the complex became a museum. Today, the official residence of the President of Iran is located adjacent to the complex. The complex includes 18 buildings, 10 of them are open for the public, and 4 of the buildings are at the disposal of Presidency Organization. The museums display the vast collection of royal dishes, military objects, weapons, fine arts, royal documents and albums, royal clothing and calligraphy. My top pick choice for the restaurants in Tehran is this rooftop restaurant located in the Ark Shopping Center next to Saadabad complex. It offers a broad menu of different dishes in the beautifully decorated garden with a view on the mountains. The Azadi Tower, or Shah's Memorial Tower, is one of the landmarks of Tehran, marking the west entrance to the city, and is a part of Azadi Cultural Complex, which also includes an underground museum. The tower is about 45 meters tall and is completely clad in cut marble. It was commissioned by Mohammad Riza Pahlavi, the last Shah of Iran, to mark the 2,500-year celebration of Persian Empire. If you enjoyed watching this video, I encourage you to subscribe, click like and hit notification bell button to get updated of the new releases.